It's time to do a little bit of weight reduction. Now we got quite a few plans, quite a few things we're going to do to reduce the weight on this Challenger. For example, we just got our ET Street R's in. Those are 17s, so we got 17s going to go on back. Still got to get the wheels. We got the seats out. That's the rear seat, passenger seat. We got lightweight bumper support we got to install. We got the driver's seat we have to install, the lightweight one. We've got front skinnies, not the right ones, the right ones. More on that in that video. But all that is coming in a future video. Today's video, we're going on the inside of the car. We got some more interior stuff to pull. And I got set up, I got my new work light here mounted up. I did a video on that in case you want to check it out. So far, so good. But we are going to pull this rear trim, that C-pillar trim, that back panel. We're going to pull those seat belts. We're going to pull the rear speakers. All that is going to come out today in today's video. And at the end, as always, we will weigh everything up. Just kind of a quick overview to pull this stuff off. You have to like unsnap this off. It says a cover here. Most of this stuff snaps off. You have to take the seat belts off. In fact, you have to take these seat belts out to get these trim panels off because these have to route through. This one here, a couple covers, and there's some bolts and screws. That panel just has a couple clips. Super, super easy. And then just some bolts on the seat belts. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, now this panel, just simply get underneath, pull straight up. And there it is. And this is, okay, I thought this was two-piece, but it's attached to this little clip right here. Okay, now for this trim panel, let's go ahead and remove that. That exposes this bolt, and so we can get the seatbelt through. There is a small Phillips screw right here. Let's go ahead and unscrew the bottom of these seatbelts. This takes a T50. Move that up. See how hard this is to break. That takes a little bit of force to break. Finally, this isn't like one of those bolts that you just break and you're done. Man, it takes some time. Probably need to pick up some new ones of this. That one's pretty mangled up. Okay, next, let's do the bottom of this seat belt. Slightly different angle here. Okay, that seatbelt bolt is in there quite good, so this time I got a bigger socket wrench. This will give us a little bit more power. All right, we got it turning. Man, that was hard to break. All right, let's speed through this part. Oh my gosh, man, that's some good Loctite on this bolt. It did not want to turn. Okay, and now it should just be a simple matter of pulling this out. Oh, I did miss one. There's a clip right here. All right, we got our little fastener removal tool. And I think I actually already had this out previously to get the trunk trim out. Let's see if I can get my hand. There we go. All right, one rear quarter trim removed. So as you can see, Phillips screw right here. Remove the bottoms of the seat belts. Plastic clip here. And then just a bunch of straight out clips over here. One tip, if you can, at the top, reach your arm behind, because I noticed it started pulling the plastic in. It's a little divot there from it. Okay, so now we got this upper trim piece right here. And I know we are gonna have to unplug that. That just takes that off. This says left front antenna. So that is an antenna for something. I'm guessing the radio, which all my speakers are coming out anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Okay, let's pop these out. There we go. Now this one. Just like that, and there's a bolt right in there. Okay, so these are in fact 7mm. It comes out pretty quick. And now this. All right, you see it's already hanging down. You should just be able to there we go. And it looks like, oh, there. So this just kind of sticks in there like that. And there's that trim. Now while we're here, let's remove this. It's actually 2 straps. And this is the same as those, oh, sorry for the light, those front A-pillar trims. Just kind of holds this in place if the airbags go out. So not critical. Oh, actually, it's just the 1 strap. I thought there were 2. There is 2 straps. This one just completely came out. Okay, now with this side done, let's go ahead and speed through that side, and then we'll get to the seat belts in the rear panel. Okay, so we got that other side trim off. And as you can see, I pulled off that little pad here, so I'm going to pull it off over here too. It just glued on. There'll be a little bit of material stay with the car, but that's all right. That's some sticky glue. Okay, this one did not come off as clean as that other side, but that's okay. It's just padding. I mean, it's really not a big deal. Okay, with that all done, now it's time to pull this off, and this is actually pretty easy from what I understand. I think it's just these 2 clips. And then, yep, this pops right out. So get around those wires. And then looks like, yep, just gotta pop that cover out to get this seatbelt through, which I need to unbolt that really quick. I've actually taken that off before, so that nut was already broken loose, which is nice. And then just push that through sideways. There we go. 1 package tray. Okay, before we get to the rear speakers, let's go ahead and do the belts because we already started talking about them. Already got this one off. So now we just got these 2 buckles here. That comes right off. And now we're only going to pull the passenger belt, all 3 rear belts. That we're going to leave because, well, I need a belt for me. So that stays. In fact, we'll have to reinstall the bottom part. Okay, let's start with the rears first because this is going to be a little trickier. So we already got the bottom off. The top, all we need is this one. Oh, that's awesome. So this thing will hold this bolt in, so that's perfect. Holy criminy, man. Oh my gosh. These bolts are in there. Hardcore. Here we go. It's a good little bit of weight. Now this one here, I am going to have to put back in eventually with the seats and stuff because I'm not the only person that drives. Sometimes my daughter drives in a car and she needs a seatbelt, obviously. You got to keep everyone safe. So this will be going back in, but for the showdown, it's coming out. Okay, since we just did this side, let's do the opposite side. All right, second seatbelt out, and this one we'll probably just leave out because I never have anyone sitting behind me, so no reason to have this in. Now the center seatbelt here, that's gonna be a little different. That actually has a nut. I don't know if you can see with the light, but it's just an 18mm nut, and you'll need a longer socket here. Oh, this is so much easier than those T50 bolts, I'll tell you that. That's it. It's the center rear belt, which this one also, I'm not going to put back because no one ever rides in the center. Okay, now these rear speakers, those are all 8mm bolts. Come out pretty easily. The heck is this thing glued in? So a little trim panel here. Let me take this off. Yeah, I didn't even notice this trim panel here, so we'll obviously take that off too. Looks like it just held on with a bunch of these Christmas tree pins. We're doing this to get underneath the speaker because it feels like it's glued on or something. Oops. We got a little trunk light right here. Ow. All right, one speaker wire. Yeah, they have a little gasket on there, so it's kind of stuck on there, almost like glue. There's one speaker. Let's get the other one. Two speakers. Okay, now while we're back here, these are the latches for the rear seat back. I'm just going to pull these off too because, you know, they're metal. They weigh something, and we don't have seats in them for your latch to. They're just 2 bolts. All right, one more. Okay, with that all done, let's go ahead and reinstall this because we have to run it. I mean, don't really need this though. Okay, so now we got this passenger side front seat belt, and the more I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking I may just leave this in. This, unlike the other belts, has this little plug because this has a little tensioner in it, but this has to do with the airbag system because when airbags go off, there's something in here that basically just pulls this belt tight. And I don't really want to mess with that because I'm pretty sure that will trip my airbag light, which will then deactivate the entire system. I don't want that because it is activated. I actually got special plugs for removing the seats to make sure that my airbag system works. So what would be the point of me paying all the money for those plugs if then I just deactivate everything with this? So I'm going to leave this in here. If you wanted to take it off, there's this little orange or reddish part. You just pop that out and that comes loose. And then all you have to do is 2 T50 bolts here, 1 on the bottom and a Phillips right here. And that's it for this. Okay, so with that all out, all that's left to do is weigh everything up. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to weigh some parts up individually, see what they come out like that. And then we'll see how much we can kind of put it all together and see total wise. Rear speakers, one of them. 1 pound, that's basically 2 pounds. It's actually 2 pounds, 1.2 ounces. Said that. That's over 4 pounds in those 2 speakers. These 2 rear seat back latch thingies, 9 ounces. Okay, now we got the seat belts. So this is the driver's side rear. Basically almost 2 pounds. Let's see if they're all about that. This is the passenger side rear. This includes the bolts. Almost 2 pounds. And the center rear, again, almost 2 pounds. And then these are just the buckles, 11 ounces. So we easily got over 6 pounds right here just in the seat belts. Okay, now these little pad things that I said surprisingly weigh quite a bit, well, it's 10 ounces basically. So between the 2 of them, we got over 1 pound between these 2 things. So definitely worth pulling these off. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to use this box to give us more surface area. So we're just going to zero that out just like that. Let's see if I got enough space here. 4 pound, I mean, that's basically 5 pounds. So we add the second one, and that'll get us basically 9 pounds, 15, almost 10 pounds. Okay, now how about these? These are the upper C-pillar trims, 1 pound, 7.7. All right, so I had the second one, 2 pounds, 15.6. That's basically 3 pounds right there. Let's see if we can balance one of these on here. 1 pound, we got 2 of those, so that's 2 pounds. Then we got our package tray, basically 2 pounds right there. The under package tray, this was underneath the speakers, 1 pound, 10 ounces. So, man, it's all adding up. 8, 10, I mean, okay, now before we weigh everything all together up, how do I keep things organized? Well, I'm going to bag everything. I've got bags for different things like the different seatbelt stuff like that. That way I don't get things mixed up. And besides the video telling me where everything goes, I'll have everything marked so I don't mix any parts up. So before I put them all in these bags, I just want to weigh these bags just so we don't add extra weight that doesn't belong. We got these on here. 1.5 ounce. So remember, we have to deduct 1.5 ounce when we weigh everything up all together. Okay, quick tip. If you're going to take the stuff off and need to store it away, not putting it right back, you can actually take these screws that go, this one here and this bolt here, throw it in there and just stick this cover back in. Just like that. Same thing, the bolt that goes in here, just throw it in that pocket. Snap this back in, and there's actually no way that those can fall out. So, quick storage tip. Okay, we've got everything prepped. Here's all the trim panels, package tray, kick panels, speakers, seat belts, little pieces. Now what we're going to do is I am going to throw the box on here, zero it out, throw all the small stuff in a box, and then use the box to balance everything. So we're going to see how much all this stuff weighs together. Okay, box is on. Zero it out. 2 speakers, 3 pounds, 15 ounces. 3 rear seat belts. We're up to 10 pounds, 8 ounces. Package tray clips, seat belt covers, the rear seat latches, C-pillar trims, we'll just throw those in here. one passenger seat bolt. We're up to 12 pounds so far. Now let's balance all this stuff on here. This is gonna be the tricky part. We're balancing. So far, 28 pounds. These two kick panels, all that's left. Everything's balanced. Nothing leaning on anything. 31 pounds. That's how much we just shaved off with all the rear trim, rear seat belts, and rear speakers. That's 0.03 of a second right there off the quarter. And by the way, I know everybody thinks I'm crazy for doing this, but this video also kind of gave you a how-to of how to take all this stuff up. If you did a rear seat delete, you need to take most of this stuff up. If you want to replace your rear speakers, you got to take a lot of this off to get to it. Things like the rear seat latches, the seat belts, that all needs to come off with the rear seat delete. And in fact, if you ordered this car with the rear seat delete, which is how it actually comes standard, then you wouldn't have these seat belts. You wouldn't have the seat latches. You would just have the delete kit. That's it. There you have it. 31 pounds down. We got more stuff to do still. Breaking in really quick because when I weighed everything all together, I forgot these pads and it's like a couple pounds. So that 31 number is not 100% correct. It's actually 31 plus 1 pound 3/6. So now it's actually over 32 pounds total that we shaved off with all that rear trim, speakers, and belts. So like, comment, subscribe, stick around. Let's see what else we do. And we're going to do a weigh-in eventually. And actually, I may run a contest on it. So definitely subscribe. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.